This is a lot different than anything that I've done on this channel, I feel like, so I'm excited. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Kendal, and this is where I post all of my bookish content that I love. And if you aren't new, welcome back. We're finally getting back into the swing of things with a January TBR. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make TBRs anymore. I am very much a mood reader. I don't tend to stick to TBRs, but what I have been doing the past few months is pulling books that I'm in the mood for right now and putting them on a shelf, and those are the books that I'm choosing from. And I do give myself free range to pick up whatever I want because that's how I enjoy reading. So I decided to do a TBR cart this year and kind of focus on it. So this is the breakdown of what this cart is and what it has on there. So I picked out 12 books. I actually picked out 3 of them, and I had 3 of my best friends pick out 3 each. Yeah, I had Liv from Liv's Library, Elizabeth from Little Life of Books, and Rachel from the Bestie Book Sleeve all pick out 3 books that they really wanted me to read that I own, and I wrap them up, and I'm going to get a random number generator, and we're going to spin a wheel on my phone, and whatever book number that I get is going to be the book that I read. So I'm very excited about that because they have the same kind of taste that I do, and I feel like they really know me and my reading taste as well, so I have full confidence that they've picked out some great books. I know what I've put in here, but it's been a little while since I wrapped them, so I don't 100% remember them. But those will always stay on the top of my TBR cart. And then on this middle row, I have a jar. And this is where I'm going to put the books that I'm currently reading. So January's TBR will go in here, and those will be the books that I pick from. And even though you cannot see it, it does have a third shelf at the bottom, or cart tier, and I'm going to be putting books that I buy. So every time that I buy a book, I'm going to put it in the cart down here at the bottom so that I can see how many books I'm buying and what I need to get read, and to see if I'm actually reading the books that I'm buying this year. So that's what we're doing. But I do have a TBR jar, which I asked on Instagram for some prompts from you guys, and y'all delivered for sure. And then me and my friends, the ones that I mentioned of who helped me with these, also helped come up with a few prompts, and I put them in this jar. I have quite a bit, and I also just love this jar. It's little mushrooms. It's so cute. But I'm gonna pick 3 prompts this month. There may be months where I pick more or less, just depending on book club reads that I have, or if I'm buddy reading something with somebody, or if I'm wanting to start a series. I'm just kind of picking how many I think that I'll actually achieve. So we're gonna pick prompts, but I think the first thing that we're gonna start out with is picking one of these wrapped books. So I'm gonna bring up a random number generator on my phone, and we're gonna see what it lands on. So we have 1 through 12. You can't see them, but I do have more that are back here. I just couldn't fit all of them. Once I read 2 of them, I'll fit all of them on there. But we're gonna go ahead and generate 1 and see what we get. I hope you can see this. I'm using this website called random.org. So we're gonna generate, and it gave us, if you can see, number 3, which I don't remember what number 3 is, but I know it's over here. I can tell it's well, I thought it was a paperback, but it kind of feels like hardback. It feels like a hardback. It looks kind of short though, so let's open it and see. I'm going to show you guys before I look at it, just to have the element of surprise there. It is a hardback. I can tell that now. So here's the book. I hope I'm holding it at the camera. Oh, yay. Okay. We're reading Foul Days by Genoveva Dimova. I think that's how you say your name. Dimova. I this is actually one that I picked because I am so stoked to get to this. This is actually a Owl Crate copy that I got. It's so pretty inside. And all I know is that it kind of reminds me of Shadow and Bone meets like Anastasia in a way. So I am super stoked to get to this one. So our main character's name is Kasara, and she is a witch, and witches get their powers from their shadows. And so her ex-boyfriend, it turns out, is the Tsar of monsters. So he's in charge of all the monsters, and he's hunting her. So she's forced to kind of give up her shadow, which is the source of her powers, to him. And now she has contracted this deadly, pretty much fatal plague that comes to usually all shadowless witches after, you know, being betrayed by her ex. So then Kasara is forced to team up with this detective because the only way that she can survive this plague and get a cure is to get her powers back. And so she has 12 days to work with him and get her powers back and everything like that. So it definitely I just have a good feeling about this one, and I'm so happy this is what we're starting this year off with. This might require me to be getting up and down a lot, so we're gonna go ahead, and what we're gonna do is pick 3 prompts from the jar, and then I'm gonna go find the books that I'm wanting to read with those prompts and bring them back, and we'll go over them again. So I'm gonna give the jar a good little shake. I mean, there's not really much places for them to go. Peanut Butter's having a field day with this jar thing, just letting y'all know. Okay. I'm getting so nervous about these for no reason. Oh, gotta put those back. We dropped a little prompt. Okay. Our first prompt. Pet picks your book. Peanut Butter, you get to pick my book. So what I'm gonna do for that one is I'm probably gonna bring in 3 options of what I'm feeling, and I'm gonna take a treat from her treat box, and I'm gonna sit one on each book and see which one she picks first. But just so y'all know, it is Pet Picks My Book. So that is a really exciting one. I actually really love that one. We're gonna shake the jar again. And then pick a different one. I think I'm gonna pick there we go, got one. Okay. Set Abroad, which is a very cool prompt. So for Set Abroad, I'm kind of just gonna go for any book that's not like a fiction book. It might be a fantasy at this point, or take place across seas or in a different world, because you know, it's technically abroad. And then we're picking our last prompt of January. Okay, the last prompt of January. Plant on the cover. Plant on the cover. So, give me a second and I'll be right back with these books. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get Pet Picks book out of the way, because that one will be the most challenging one. Come here. Oh, she has chosen a Kindle book. Okay. Okay, so I picked out 3 books for Peanut Butter to choose between with her treats, and she chose the one I didn't think she would choose, but that's okay. I sat a treat on this, and I said I just rejoined Kindle Unlimited because I got rid of it last year because I just didn't use it as much as I wanted to or as I thought I would, and I just wasn't getting my money's worth. So I decided to put this down, and if Peanut Butter picked my Kindle, then I would choose a book on Kindle Unlimited to read, and I think I know what I'm going to choose. This one is one that my friend Rachel from the Bessie Book Sleeve read this past year and loved it, or really enjoyed it. She said it was messed up, and she was like, Kendall, I think you need to read it for sure because you will definitely love it. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm here for it. So I'm going to go ahead, it is on Kindle Unlimited, but I'm going to go ahead and download it, and that is going to be what we add to our TBR. And that book is The Last Party by A.R. Torre, or Torre. I think it's Torre. It is a thriller. I have no idea what this one is about, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys. A loving mother, a notorious murderer. They both have reasons to hide their secrets in a novel of escalating shock and suspense. So Perla is our main character, I think, who we're following. And she is the perfect, you know, suburban housewife. She has daughters, or a daughter. Yeah, a daughter, and she has a husband and just a very successful life. The perfect, you know, life, as one might say. But she has this secret obsession with a murder that happened years and years and years ago that she just can't let go. And it says that Leewood Fulcrum confessed to murdering 2 young girls during a birthday party. Though he's been condemned to a life sentence, his crime is not forgotten. And Perla first found out about him when she was in college and doing her dissertation on it. You are going, like, getting flashbacks, and, you know, you're having things that are happening in present day and things that are happening in the past. And stories are getting blurred and lines are getting twisted. And so everything is just kind of coming to a head. And I'm excited to see what kind of twistiness this is, because I feel like my friend Rachel has read so many thrillers, and usually it's hard for her to find one that has a twist so big that she has never read it before. So I'm excited to see what this one does and to add it to this TBR. So one of the other prompts we got was it was a book set abroad. And I, you know, talked about I might have a fantasy one that I can do, because I don't have a lot of books that are set abroad in, like, on Earth. But I did find one, and I've been wanting to read this for a while now, and I've never read by this author before, and this year is the year to do that. And I'm going to be reading The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. This book takes place in France during World War II. So, very excited about this. I've heard so many people rave about this one, and my friends said this one would be a good place to start with a Kristin Hannah book. And I just have found myself recently getting more into historical fiction and historical fantasy, and I never thought that would be the case, but here we are. So I am very excited to finally dive into this author and see what she's all about. And usually you are in, like, historical books, you usually, I feel like, typically follow the men because they're going to war in a lot of historical fiction books. But in this one, you are following 2 sisters and what they go through while the war is happening, while World War II is going on, and they're both, you know, they're living in France, but they've been separated. And so I have a feeling this one is going to bring on a lot of tears. The next prompt was to choose a book with a plant on the cover, and I was kind of having a little bit of a harder time with this one, because I know that so far I have a fantasy, a historical fiction, and a thriller, and some other books that I am going to talk about in a minute are a lot of fantasy reads. So I kind of want to break it up. And one thing that I found myself wanting to do last year but didn't really do was to read more Christian nonfiction books, or Christian help, Christian inspiration books. And I didn't do that. I only read like 2 last year. So I want to get back into the habit of doing them. So if you guys have been here for a while, about 2 years ago, I think, I read the book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer, and I loved it. That book, I still think about it to this day. I can still remember certain things that I want to apply to my life. So I found a book that was actually brought up to my attention by Liv from Liv's library, and it's called The Common Rule by Justin Whitmel Earley, Habits of Purpose for an Age of Distraction. And this one has a plant on the cover, so I'm counting that one for that prompt. And this one, from what some people have said, is how you take the things that are mentioned in The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry and apply them to your life. So it says, the modern world is a machine of invisible habits, forming us into anxious, busy people. We yearn for the freedom of the gospel, but remain shackled by our screens and exhausted by our routines. The answer is a rule of life that aligns our habits to our beliefs. The common rules for daily and for weekly habits transform frazzled days into lives of love for God and neighbor. Justin Earley provides doable, life-giving practices to find freedom and rest for your soul. And this one has like questions and stuff if you wanted to do a group study with it as well. But I will probably just answer those by myself. But just so you guys like have a kind of idea of what this has, it has daily habits such as 1 hour with your phone off, having one meal with other people, and then it has weekly habits such as 1 hour of conversation with a friend, and then like fast from something for 24 hours, which I know a lot of people think fasting is like do not eat, but you can fast from different things. Like I may fast from books where I don't read, or fast from TV, or from my phone, or you can fast from sugar, or whatever you want to do. That's kind of up to you, but just giving up something that you kind of incorporate into your daily life, but give it up for 24 hours. And it just, you literally don't understand, like it always feels like there's no time in the day. But I feel like after reading John Mark Comer's book and then using this one to apply those rules to, or apply those habits to my life, then I will realize like how much time I actually have in the day that I am giving up to things that I don't necessarily have to give it up to, you know? So it's like I said, I just want to live a purposeful, meaningful life. So I feel like this one is going to help me do that. Okay, so the next one, the next few books I'm going to talk about are books that are part of my TBR for book clubs or because they're new releases. That's what I'm really wanting to focus on this year. Is usually my TBR prompts and my wrapped books and things like that are going to be for books that are not new releases and that have been out, and especially that I have owned and wanted to get to, so that way I'm getting some backlist reads in while also getting to read new releases that I'm excited for in January. The first book that I want to mention that I will be reading is A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. This one is my book club pick for my Patreon book club. If you don't know, I do have a Patreon. It's called the Dreamy Dragon Den, and it is full of readers like you and me, and we just have a great time. Of course, I have certain different tiers, and you are able to have, we have weekly sprints. We have a monthly book pick where we have the option, you will have the option to vote and choose the book that we read, as well as hop on the camera if you're willing to. That's definitely optional, but if you want to be kind of involved and on the camera talking about the book with me, I would gladly have you there. And we also do monthly movie nights for certain tiers and a monthly hangout session for certain tiers as well. I also have graphics that I release and different things. So we're doing a little bit of a few things differently this year, but I'm super excited for another year of Patreon. So come join us if that sounds like something that you would enjoy. But the book that we've picked for January is A Sea of Unspoken Things. And we'll be discussing this one on February 4th over on Patreon. I do a YouTube live video and we talk about it, so definitely come join. You have plenty of time. But I am so excited for this one. It was very close and this one won out by 1 vote, so I hope that it lives up to the people who have voted for it, its expectations. But I personally, Adrienne Young is one of my favorite all-time authors, and I love her so much. She definitely has more emotional reads, and they tend to be magical realism with a mystery involved, which is always fun. And I think this one follows a brother and a sister, and I think it'll be really cool because if you don't know, Adrienne Young is a twin and she has a twin brother. So from what I've heard, she's kind of written this from experience of, you know, a brother-sister relationship. So I think that'll be interesting to see. And this one comes out on January 7th. So again, you have plenty of time to grab it and hop on over and join us on February 4th to discuss it. Another book club that I wish I could have participated more in last year, but life just got hectic and busy and I just dropped the ball on it, but I'm trying to participate more in this year, is Libronauts, which is hosted by my friend Elise over at Literally Elise. And she made this book club last year, and I was so so grateful to be able to be a part of it as well. I was able to host or co-host her first book club pick. That was a John Mars book, and it was my first John Mars, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it, so I'm excited to get back into it. I am a huge sci-fi movie person. They're one of my favorite genres of movie, and so I really want to dive into some sci-fi books this year because I just have a feeling that I will enjoy them quite a lot. So her book club pick for January is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, which I have never read anything by Andy Weir before. I know a lot of people have read The Martian, but I have not. Her and Liv from Liv's Library are going to be reading this one and then discussing it as well. She has an Instagram that I will link down below. That is her book club Instagram, and it has all the details for everything that they're going to be doing with it there. So we're following an astronaut who, he is the only one who has survived. He has one last mission that he has to do, and it's very dire and important that he gets this mission done, but he's been asleep for a very long time, and he's just now waking up, and he doesn't even remember his own name. So that is going to prove to be a very complicated mission. And again, I kind of like going into my books blind, but this one sounds very interesting. I've watched a few TV shows or movies that have dealt around space travel and astronauts, so I really enjoyed them. So I have a feeling Project Hail Mary is going to be a really good one. And then I'm going to mention a few new releases that are coming out in January that I'm very excited for. I own 2 of them, and I've pre-ordered 2 more of them, so I'm very excited to get to them. And again, if I have the time, I'm definitely going to try and focus on new releases so that I'm caught up with them and they're not ending up as backlist on my TBR for next year. The first one, which I ordered from Book of the Month, is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I have read 2 books by Alice Feeney. I've read Rock, Paper, Scissors and Daisy Darker, and I loved both of them. They were really good, and I just think that she is a very good thriller author, and I've heard from 2 of my friends who are reading this already that it is wild and crazy, and that is just right up what I am wanting to read right now. The only thing that I know about this one is that there's this guy and he's talking to his wife on the phone while she's on her way home from work one day. He is an author, and he hears her slam on the brakes, and she's screaming because she sees something in the road, and then he tries to find her, and when he gets to her car, there's nobody there, and it's been a year and he has never found his wife. I just have a feeling this one is going to be pretty crazy. This one I actually ordered off of Pango. I have found that a lot of people will sell their Fairy Loot copies on Pango for books that they don't want. And so I actually found this one, and I immediately got it because I really want to read this one this year, especially this month if I can get to it, and this copy is just gorgeous. And that is A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. I mean, look at the sprayed edges. I cannot handle it. This one kind of sounds like a dark academia, or yeah, kind of like a dark academia with dragons, and it follows languages and things like that. It's taking place in London in the early 1920s. There's a war. So yeah, I am very, very excited to get to this one because any book that has a dragon has me sold immediately. Another book that comes out on January 14th is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix is one of my all-time favorite authors as well. He writes comedic horror books, and I really enjoy them. He is actually going to be coming to a city close to me near the end of January, so I went ahead and ordered a ticket, and the ticket comes with a book, and we get to go, me and Olivia are going to go, and we get to listen to him talk, and also he's going to sign our book, and I think we can also bring extra books from him to sign, so I definitely want to do that as well. So I'm very excited about that. I have no idea what this book entails. Obviously it's going to be witches, but I just really, really love his books. I think I've read 2 or 3, I think 3 now, and I haven't rated any of them lower than 4 stars because they're just so good. They have good funny moments. They do have creepy moments, but they also kind of have deeper moments as well in some of them that relate to a deeper topic than, you know, just scaring the crap out of somebody. The next book comes out on January 21st, and I feel like this book needs no introduction because I feel as though everybody has heard of it, and it is the third book in the Empyrean series, and it is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is after Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, which I read both of those, loved them both, gave them both 5 stars. I literally love that series so much. I love that you get dragons and that those dragons can communicate with people, and that way you get to hear talking dragons. I was a big fan of Dragon Tales growing up, so I love talking dragons. Iron Flame, the second one, ended on a very big cliffhanger, so I'm very excited and very nervous to see what's going to happen in Onyx Storm. Rebecca Yarros has been hyping it up too as well on her Instagram, and I've seen a reader on her Instagram react to it, and I'm sweating. I'm sweating. And the last book comes out on January 28th, and it'll be available on Kindle Unlimited, and that is The Crash by Freida McFadden. I've only read one Freida McFadden, but I definitely want to get into more of her books this year. They're very bingeable and easy to read. So I have read The Housemaid, and I don't really know if I want to continue on with that series because I have heard that the first one is the best one out of all of them. So I'm like, do I even bother? But I also want to say that I've read them. It's a me thing. It's just a me thing. But I really want to try and read Ward D and The Inmate this year because I've heard that those will be ones that I personally will enjoy. And also Never Lie. But The Crash sounds like a good one, and it looks really fun. Not fun, but you know, it does look fun. And also one of the boys that I watch, his name is Tegan, and that's the main character's name in this book. So I feel like that would be a funny kind of thing to read. And it also takes place in winter, so it'll be a good transition into, like, out of winter reads into more like lovey-dovey reads probably in February. But those are all the books that are on my TBR and that are coming out this month that I'm super excited to get to and hope that I can get to. Again, I don't really know how many of these books I'll actually get to read this month because I do start school up again in mid-January, so I'm going to be busting my booty though trying to get them read. But let me know down in the comments below if you guys enjoy seeing me open a wrapped book and doing the TBR prompts. If you have any TBR prompts that you want me to add to my jar for the future, definitely let me know and I will add them. Let me know what's on your TBR as well. What's the book that you are the most excited about reading or that's coming out this month that you're excited about buying? Just let me know all of the fun New Year details down below in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching and just being here and giving me your support. It means the world to me. And I will see you guys in my next video.